Hi, friends and fellow Earth Angels. It's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my pick a pile readings. And this will be themed around the new moon in Cancer. So, the purpose of these readings is to support you in harnessing the energy of the moon. And new moons are always a great time to send out your wishes, your intentions. It's a great time for manifesting, visualizing that dream life, whatever that is for you. It could be feeling or feeling more joy in your life, or play, or laughter. So it could be an energy. It could be working with the energy of a relationship or a job or a financial situation. So there's so many aspects that you can really work with the energy of this moon. So this new moon in Cancer is my favorite. It is in my sign, and so Cancer is the energy of home, of family, of nurturing, of food. It's a moon energy connected with emotions. So Cancer, those who are born under the sign of Cancer are also referenced as moon children. So this also can bring up emotions, this new moon in Cancer. So harnessing those big emotions. Maybe you're feeling laughter or play or joy. I've been feeling really energetic. Like, I've been feeling like I'm getting back to myself again. Remember, we're just coming out of an intense eclipse season. So this new moon in Cancer marks the end of that eclipse season. So this would be a really great time for you to just kind of look back at the last 2 weeks and really the last 2 months, May and June. There was a lot happening. So it was kind of a culmination. The energy started around the Mercury retrograde in February. And so a lot of stuff was stirred up around then. And then with the eclipse season, it was almost like the deep healing work of that energy back in February. Maybe there were resolutions. Maybe there were things that you had to work on. Maybe there were insights that you gained. But I do know it was a very it was a soul journey for a lot of you. Soul is in singular and soul is in, higher. And so we're coming out of like a dark period, a dark time, and we're really kind of coming into the light. Cancer is a cardinal sign, and it starts summer, right? Warmth, heat. It's time to grow. So with my notes here, some of the characteristics of this full moon in Cancer, this new moon in Cancer, it's a good time to buy a house, to start a family, to see more of your family, to check in with parents or grandparents. It is a time to nurture yourself. So, in any relationship that you have, you are responsible for your half only. And when we're filled up, when we're feeling treasured, when we're feeling the flow of love in our lives, when we're feeling the sense of freedom, we have the capacity to share love, to give love on bigger, deeper levels. And so if you have been giving a lot lately, if you have been through this intense period of the eclipse season, this would be a really great time for you to nurture yourself. I very much enjoy flowers, so I usually, for the most part, have fresh flowers in my house, and that is a way that I nurture myself. I love to cook. As a quadruple moon sign myself, moon child, I love to nourish my body with really good foods. I just made my first run to the farm this season. I haven't had a chance to get out, and it was so wonderful to come home with my box of goodies from the farm. And I put in a vegetable soup in the pressure cooker, in the crock pot to be made. And so you may find yourself wanting to cook, wanting to bake, wanting to feed people, which is beautiful. If you're in a partnership, this would be a really wonderful time to go out to eat with your significant other and just share really good food. Or if you haven't, because you've been on this healing journey, if you haven't been out with friends in a while, it'd be a really great time to make dinner reservations and go out and just enjoy some really yummy foods. There's so many great restaurants out there, and as the world starts opening up, the restaurant industry and the service industry took a really big hit. So, you getting out and sharing time and energy and your money with those working in the restaurants can be your way of giving and receiving. It would be a really great time to check in with yourself. If you've been through tough times and you need to get back on track with something, again, no shame. Life just takes its course. And if you need to kind of review and saying, okay, what haven't I been doing? Sometimes it's like gratitude, sometimes it's prayer, sometimes it's exercise, and saying, hey, you know what, I felt really good when I was doing that, so let me get back on track. And slowly but surely, again, I'm not a big fan of anything restrictive. I find that if you are a divine feminine dominant energy, you can only withstand restriction for so long before the goddess within you starts to rebel. So, nourishing your soul with exercise and healthy food, and even getting financially fit, right? This isn't about restricting, but setting goals for yourself so that you feel full, so that you feel satiated, that you feel like the divine is working with you, right? This is that receptor energy. So you're kind of planting seeds, this new moon in Cancer, so that when the full moon in, I believe, Aquarius comes in a few weeks, you'll be able to receive all this beautiful energy that you're harnessing now, or you're setting up for. What else here in my notes? Think about how secure you are in your life. Work through insecurities and uncertainties and possessive behaviors. So just kind of checking in with yourself and judgments. And are you judging yourself or others? And if you are, just notice it and saying, okay, how would it feel if I sent that person, place, thing, idea, the energy of love instead of judgment, right? Bringing your attention back on yourself, and maybe you're judging yourself or you're working through your own insecurities. How can you notice it and give yourself extra love? So again, with this moon being about home and family and love, it's a really great time to activate that energy within. If you've been giving a lot lately, you're feeling depleted, you're feeling maybe a little resentful, it would be a really great time for you to pull back within yourself and nourish your own soul. And you could always ask the divine energies to support you in that, filling you up to overflowing. So the cards that I'll be using, I really want to work with the divine feminine essence, right? There's a lot of love energy, coupley energy, masculine, feminine dance that's going on with Mars and Venus. And so I'm just feeling really, lovey-dovey in all aspects. So I really want to work with the goddesses for this reading. So I'm going to work with the Divine Feminine Oracle guidebook. And so I'm going to pull 3 cards. So these will be our themes. And then your message of healing will be from Soulful Woman. The action that you could take to support your healing this new moon in Cancer is from the Flower Therapy. And then what you'll be gifted with, I'll be using the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and then the overall message will be Whispers of Love, the overall message of love for you. So I am loving this energy. We also have the card here from the Moonology deck is You and Your Loved Ones Are Safe, New Moon in Cancer. So let me see if there's anything in here I haven't already said. Let's see. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring you your heart's desires, which is perfect as we bring in this new moon energy in Cancer. All right, so let me start here. Let me open up space, inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that would like to assist, specifically the divine feminine goddesses. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, goddesses, what are the themes? What three goddesses want to come out for this new moon in Cancer 2021? 3 cards, please. 3 cards. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with, 1, 2, 1 more, 3. Awesome. All right, so let's see here. So we're going to start with Akhilanda. So this is the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation, and I choose to become only more love. So this card is about acceptance. It's about learning through our challenges. It's sometimes she comes up when we may be challenged in those areas of the things we didn't know. So for revisiting the past and, maybe there were hiccups and bumps, or maybe there were some regrets or remorse, she comes in to remind us that there is no thing as perfection. We all have things to work on. And so in some way, this could be a little controversial for some, but she's basically saying we're all broken, right? Which for me, I interpret it as not in a negative sense or something bad, but more of we all on the spiritual journey have things to work through, and we all experience challenges, and there's a lot that we don't know. And so this really for me is about a card of grace and forgiveness. So there's her. And then, Catherine Laborn. So she's the patroness of miraculous healing. So it says, I am ready to heal. I am worthy of the miracles meant for me. She had a vision of Mary. If you can see this, this medallion, this piece that she has, they actually still have these in some religious stores, her medal here. So the patroness of miraculous healing. So maybe you've gone through some really big changes. Maybe you've gone through some deep healing, and she is supporting you. Maybe you're feeling backed up. Maybe you're feeling stuck, and you're like, I'm ready to, move forward. I've learned from my past. Maybe you're in a place where you're ready to make changes. Maybe you've been having the same experiences and cycles over and over again, and it came to light these last couple months. And so she can support you in miraculous healings and making changes going forward. I'm ready to heal. I'm worthy of the miracles meant for me. And then finally we have, Oh, the Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermites. It's interesting. I don't get her card much. So her message here says, I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity of love. Wow. Yes, please. So it's so interesting. These goddesses that came up are really about deep healing. So it seems like, this is supporting you in all the work that you've done the last couple months, or really the first this first 6 months of this year. And I feel like these goddesses are coming in to support you in the area of life that you're in. So I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. So this almost feels like action oriented. Those of you who have been making the adjustments, making the changes, you have the awarenesses, and now you're ready to alchemize it and transform the energy and really play with it. So perfect. So these are the 3. And so I will, just to keep everything on the up and up, I will pull the cards on camera. If you already know what pile you're looking for, you can go down to the notes below. I will put the timestamps there for you, and you can skip ahead. All right, so Akhilanda, what message of healing do you have for those who chose pile 1? Of healing do you have for those who chose pile 1? And what message, Catherine Leborn, what message of healing do you have for those who chose pile 2? And the Black Madonna, Our Lady of Hermits. What message do you have for those? Message of healing do you have for those? Chose pile 3. This one. Okay, what action steps can Earth Angels take to support their healing for pile 1? Action steps can Earth Angels take for pile 2 to support their healing? And what action steps, pile 3, to support their healing? All right, and what is pile 1 being gifted with? This new moon in Cancer. What's pile 1 being gifted with? And pile 2. What is pile 2 being gifted with? This new moon in Cancer. And pile 3. What is pile 3 being gifted with? This new moon in Cancer. And finally, message of love. What message of love do you have for pile 1? And what message of love do you have for pile 2? Here. And what message of love do you have for pile 3? All right. So this is the energy of the piles. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. These are the piles. They are complete. So if you want to take a moment and sit with the energies, again, there's no rhyme or reason as to what you're called to. You could be called to a pile today, or when you're watching this, and then you can come back to it later on. You could come back to the pile and see how it's checking in and see how it's resonating with you. How you can choose. You may hear in your mind, pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. You may feel your body being pulled from that. If you drop down into your heart and kind of just tune into that heart energy, you may feel that energy. You may visually see in your mind's eye the name of the goddess calling to you, and she will be powerful working with you for the next couple weeks and so on. So, all right, so let me begin here. All right, so for those of you who chose pile 1, welcome. So I am going to get to her page in the book. I'm just going to give you some insight about her because, I really feel like it's important to be empowered with these goddesses. They're such powerful energies. I've been working with this goddess deck for, probably for the last 6 months. I pick a goddess every morning and I sit with her energy, and then I prop her up on my altar and I work with her energy. So I think it's powerful to work with these energies. So let me see. Her power is unparalleled. She radiates the potent light and joy. That's the goal of change, transformation, or pain. There's very little written about her, and she's meant to be known through experience. She's an intimate, interior goddess that we meet when we are in the darkest moments of grief and heartbreak. So understand that, she could be working with you, or she could have been working with you through these last few months, from like February to now, to this new moon in Cancer. If you've gone in doing some really deep healing work and questioning, why, and maybe you've got heart's desires and you've had to really come into the light and learn about how to make changes, right? How to shift tracks, how to adjust. I know a lot of you have been making some adjustments in the energies that you're around in your own spaces. So she shows us where our energy is trapped and where we have been stifled in routines or others' expectations of us. And she whispers the liberation we will experience once we let ourselves break open and allow the new expression of ourselves to come blazing through. So I'm seeing like the shedding here. It's kind of like the shedding of the skin, right? And, in this renewal energy where you're bright and shiny and radiant. So she reminds us that we always have the power to choose to see every event as yet another opportunity to become more light, to become more of the radiant soul we are meant to be. So she is coming in to support you if you are coming out of a dark time, if you're struggling. Again, everything happens for your liberation. Choose to become only more love. And so this is powerful in a sense where you can connect with her and ask her how you can alchemize, how you can what's the word I want to use? How you can utilize what you've gone through and empower yourself with it, which in turn, as the Earth Angel's journey is, you will then be able to help others with it. So I keep seeing the word grace here, right? Giving yourself some grace and some forgiveness. So these 2 weeks, if you've really gone through an intense healing time, these 2 weeks for the new moon in Cancer could be a really great time for you to, oh, my doggy's sneezing. This could be a really great time for you to nurture yourself as opposed to putting out intentions and doing more work of just receiving, right? Receiving the love from the sunshine, receiving the what do I want to say? Hold on a second. Receiving like the energy of the wind, like I'm seeing like the wind blowing on your face and the sensation you feel. I was out recently and I got caught in the rain. I was on a walk and I got caught in the rain, and the person I was with, neither of us cared that it was pouring and it was starting to lightning out. And it was so heavenly and so blissful to be out in the rain and just letting the summer rain fall on our skin. And it was enlivening. It was empowering. So this would be a really great time for you to receive the gifts of nature. Allow yourself to be nourished. What else? The gift of laughter of children playing could also be a good time to nourish the soul. It just kind of helps you, remind you that you're human and you are a force of energy here on this planet to have experiences, to evolve, and to grow. All right, let me get into the cards here. Enlightenment power, right? So this is the message of healing. So beautiful, so feminine here. It says, I am a woman choosing the power of my own consciousness as a vehicle for my growth. So I feel like this is you really embracing your power. You know, I really want to use like embracing the struggle, right? Embracing the squeeze. So, you know, I see the imagery of a caterpillar that's been in the cocoon getting ready to come out. So when it's getting ready to come out of its chrysalis, all its wings are already formed. And it's the struggle, let's say, it's the struggle of trying to get out of the chrysalis that pumps the blood to the wings, that makes the wings stronger. So this could be another way for you to see this intensity of the energy you may have just gone through. So it's almost like that struggle or that push or that going deeper within and being able to move kind of past the limitations of the ego and being able to say, like, I own that. I own that experience in a non-shameful, non-blaming way, but being able to own the experience and being able to transform it into a form of empowerment for yourself. So know that the struggle, I'm going to use that word because I'm connecting it with the butterfly coming out of the chrysalis. The struggle is actually what makes the wings stronger, right? And if somebody innocently walked over and tried to cut that chrysalis open so that the butterfly didn't have to struggle, guess what? Its wings wouldn't be strong enough for its journey to be able to fly, right? So sometimes we want to cut our healing journey short. We want to cut corners. We want to move through it. We want to kind of cheat a little bit, right? And so I feel like she's reminding you that the struggle, and I mean that in the most liberating, empowering, strengthening way, is what prepares you for the next stage. And maybe you don't know what that is. So again, reminding yourself, I am a woman choosing the power of my own consciousness as a vehicle for my own growth. So being able to go within and check in with where you're at on your own journey and your own intuition and insight and guidance as a way to move forward. You know, I'm seeing all this beautiful lotus energy. The lotus roots, it's rooted in the mud. And, you know, when the sunshine comes up, it opens up into a beautiful, pristine, clean flower, even though it's rooted in the mud. And then when the sun goes down, it closes up and it kind of goes back in. So, you know, you're on a journey here. You're doing this dance of the shadow and light, and it's glorious. And what you get from that is stability and security, and you feel divinely connected. And when you're filled up, especially as a divine feminine goddess, when you're filled up up to overflowing, you have endless amounts of love to give to the world. And that's what the world needs now. The world doesn't need more judgment and more conditions and more of, you do for me, I do for you, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, right? And this doesn't mean to give to people who are blatantly rude and are just taking, right? Your smile, your high vibe energy. Maybe you're out to eat and you give the server extra money in a tip, or maybe you're out and are offering kindness to somebody, a smile. Even if they don't smile back, they're being reminded of the radiant love that's available, and it's shining from the inside out. The God and the Goddess are using that energy through you to remind humanity of unconditional love, right? Earth angels, gosh, we don't know how to be any other way but to give and share love. And so you guys have learned how to balance that, right? And who is through your boundaries and through your emotional growth and stability and your mental and spiritual strength, you're learning where to navigate that energies through your own, like I said, boundaries. Okay, so what action step can you take to support your healing? Ooh, time to decide. Wisteria. Make a decision now so that you can move forward. So, maybe you're in a place of having to make some changes. This could be a change in a job. It could be a change in a relationship. It could be, walking away from a situation that isn't healthy right now. And so, with the energy of forgiveness, ask yourself, this is a really beautiful way to kind of move through this energy. Ask yourself, what have I learned from this situation or experience? Who am I because of it? And how can I move forward from here in an empowering way, right? So this would be a really great time for you to go within with meditation, call on the goddesses, ask them for their insight. And, time to decide. Sometimes, the decisions, so sometimes we can have this tug of war with deciding, should I do this or should I do that? Should I go here or should I go there? The reason why I paused right there is because I'm feeling the angel faith. Angel faith, I believe angel faith is the counterpart to Archangel Michael. Angel faith is all about freedom. And so she also works with the shoulders. The shoulders are where we carry the emotional energy of our shoulds. I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I have to do this, I have to do that, I need to do this, I need to do that, but I want to do this and I want to do that, right? So if you're feeling the burdens on your shoulders, right, especially with this energy and time to decide, you can also call on and invite in Angel Faith, because she removes the energy of the shoulds and she imprints the energy of freedom. So maybe you've been giving a lot, maybe you've been trying really hard to change a situation, or work on something, and maybe you're up against resistance, or maybe you have energies that aren't open to change and they don't see a better way, or that adjustments can make things more nourishing or openness. This could feel like relationship stuff or family stuff, relationships at work or at home with children. There's a lot of different energies to this pile. It seems like mushy, it seems like moldable, and Angel Faith again is coming in to support you as the best way forward to help liberate you from maybe that cross that you've been maybe bearing. It's kind of like the tension in the neck and shoulders might be building up. Make a decision now so you can move forward. So with this new moon in Cancer, this would be a really great time for you to drop down into your body and feel the energies that you want more of. So feeling the energy of support. Sometimes, it's really hard to get to that place when we don't have, let's say, for example, support in our life, or we haven't experienced it in a divine way. So you can ask the divine to download you with, the goddess's definition of freedom, the goddess's definition of support, the goddess's definition of stability and security, so that you can feel what that feels like in your own body. And then when you harness it right into your heart, right into your physical body, saying more of this in my life, or something even better, something feels supportive. Somebody could hold the door for you, let you go at a stop sign, or somebody could offer to bring you something. You know, it kind of goes both ways. You've also got to let people in, right? You've got to let people support you who are asking, you know, those who aren't necessarily going to want you to do something for them, but opening up to people who want to love you, who want to gift you with knowledge and wisdom that can support you. All right, so what are you being gifted with? Oh, Hot Moon, Extreme. So this is card number 7. Usually every time I pull this deck out, this card comes out. So this is an intense energy, friends. This is, remember, the new moon is when the moon is completely dark, right? The sun and the moon are opposite of each other. And so it's a dark period. It's a time for reflection. It's a time for going within. So I'm feeling you're being gifted with the wisdom that came from these challenging times that you just came through. Again, the 7 here represents, for me, a spiritual feminine energy, the darkness. If you think about the yin energy of the yin yang energy, it also represents pain too, right? And so this could be a really great time for you to be empowered in the pain that you've had, with wisdom, with empowerment, right? Transforming that energy. Again, the inquiry questions that I ask when I have difficult situations: who am I because of it? What have I learned from the situation, and how can I move forward one step at a time? And I leave the answers up to the divine. I hold space and I listen and I wait. And I might not get anything in that period, but more often than not, I might get gifted with answers in a dream, or when I'm brushing my teeth the next morning, or somebody might come along and say something. So it requires a level of presence, right? Being aware of how the universe is gifting you the wisdom. I love this. And so the final message here, what message of love does the goddess have for you? Be authentic to who you are, right? So if you've been in a space where you've been what everybody else wants you to be, you know, if you have been spinning your wheels and doing all those things you should to be a good parent, to be a good friend, to be a good lover, I feel like this card is reminding you to get back to the essence of your authentic self, which is your soul self, your divine self, which is all love, right? So the message here says you are asked to be real and true pertaining to who you are and how you feel. So also too, if you're feeling prickly, or if you're feeling annoyed and aggravated, get in touch with those feelings, right? That could be certainly what you were feeling the last couple months. So know that, you know, through those experiences, you're getting more clarity about who you are and you know, how you want to be and show up in the world. So I love to be playful. I love to have experiences. I love to be radiant. I love to laugh and play. It's who I am. You know, and I surround myself with people, places, things, and ideas who also are in that space, right? So I also know that I am a super sensitive soul, and I have to honor that, right? So, you know, it's the authenticity of who I am, and I'm able to do the work in the way that I do that is because I honor those gifts within myself, where others can interpret them as weakness, right? And so you're now learning how to be empowered in your gifts, being able to say, this is who I am, unapologetically, right? It's so liberating. I think that word was in here somewhere. Yes, everything happens for your liberation. person. And so maybe you've been squeezed and pulled, and people telling you that they want you to be. Maybe you have felt peer pressure. Maybe you have felt influenced by things instead of the holding a grudge or hiding from that. How do you own it and saying, okay, now I know more about who I am. Thank you, person. Thank you, experience. I'm not going to do that again, right? And it's through these challenges that we get to the heart of our true essence. So I'm seeing so many of you like busting out of the cocoon and spreading your wings and unapologetically being your radiant self. No matter what your hair color is, or what your eye color is, or what your body looks like, or what kind of car you drive, or where you're at in your life, no matter what age you are, if you can just practice embracing that fully, and then being able to remind yourself of all the stuff that you've gotten through. Sometimes sometimes we can slip into that like dwelling, right, on shoulda, coulda, woulda, and regret. So this is a really great moon for you to kind of boost that and saying, but wait a minute, I've gone through this, and I have done this, and I've experienced this, and I've done this in my life. So it'll be a really great moon for you to reflect on those things, especially, your own home, your own family, your own body within yourself. So for me, my angels and guides are my family. I treasure them. I take care of them. They take care of me. So the word family and home, my body is my home. Jesus is my home, right? God and the goddess is my home. So there's so many aspects and variations of these words to work with. So I encourage you to play with the energies this new moon in Cancer. You are an empowered, powerful, loving, divine being that's full of radiant love that you can give to the world. So allow the energy of inspiration to come in. Allow the energy of the divine treasuring you and honoring you and nourishing you. And so for those of you who chose pile 1, I'm really seeing the word receive. If you can practice receiving from the world, from the divine these next few weeks, and letting them, go have a date with the universe. Like, I love going out with other people who are conscious and open and aware, and we play with parking spots, and we play with timing, and we'll just go here and have an experience, and then we'll go over here and have an experience, and there's no agenda or plan. It's just dancing with the universe, and it's so much fun. And then when you feel elated and you feel lit up, saying more of this in my life, or something even better. All right, so those of you who chose pile 1, thank you so much for watching. I enjoy you being here. If you enjoy these readings, or if this touched your heart in some way, if you click that like button, it will really help my channel. If your reading ends here, thank you so much for watching, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now. And those of you who chose pile 2, welcome. Catherine LeBourne. So I am going to go into the book here, and I'm going to check in with her characteristics, her qualities. I've been working with this deck for at least the last 6 months. I pull a card every morning, and I think it's so empowering to really tap into this feminine energy. I'm really into feminist theology lately, and really understanding the divine feminine energy. So, that's my dog. He's coughing, if you can hear that. So Catherine LeBourne, patroness of miraculous healing. I'm ready to heal. I'm worthy of the miracles meant for me. So Catherine LeBourne embodies our capacity to facilitate our own healing. I love it. When she was 9 years old, she picked up a statue of the Virgin Mary after her mother's funeral and said with a kiss, "Now you will be my mother." It's so beautiful. Let's see here. Catherine had a vision of Mary standing in the Vesica Pisces with rays of light streaming out from the center of her open palms. And she asked Mary in the vision why some of the rays don't reach the earth. And Mary explained those are the graces for which people forget to ask, right? Sometimes we get caught on our journey and we get into this place and we forget to ask God and we forget to ask the divine for assistance. And that's okay. We learn, right? Catherine was instructed to create a miraculous medal based on the vision of Mary. All who wear them, it is believed, will receive great graces. St. Catherine's miraculous medal became wildly popular among all sects of Christianity and is worn by millions of Christians all over the world to this day. So beautiful. So I feel like here she's reminding us about prayer and connecting with the divine mother. And it makes so much sense, right? Of course, because this is a new moon in Cancer reading, and it's a very maternal energy. Cancer, this is Cancer, sign of Cancer is all about the mother energy, which is like nurturing and loving and gentleness and compassion. So I feel those of you who chose pile 2, this energy is gifting you, this goddess is gifting you with maternal love and support. Maybe you have been that for so many people. And now it's time for you to receive from the gift of the mother. And in that you can heal. So being able to receive nurturing and compassion, being able to drop down into the body and experience the energy of warmth, peace. I feel like the coziness can really, so this is the image that I'm seeing. I'm seeing the image of a child. And many of you may be in a space where you've kind of just gone through the ringer these last few months and things have been really tough. Maybe you're feeling raw. Maybe you've had a lot of aha moments, insights, awarenesses. And I feel like she's coming in to support you. I see her coming in and just giving you a hug. Maybe those of you who chose pile 2, maybe you're just feeling the rawness of the energy. Maybe you're just feeling exposed, right? And through the challenges. Maybe you're feeling alone and isolated. And, that happens when we start making changes in our lives. So for example, let's say, this is an example that's coming to me that can support you. Let's say, we're going to use the drinking, for example. So let's say, you have a group of friends who like to go out to drink, let's say. And with it comes the insecurities and, they call it liquid courage and everybody's having a good time. And, there's this camaraderie until you, for example, and you can apply this to many different kinds of energies, you decide that, this isn't making my body feel good anymore. And I don't like how I feel the next day. And I don't like being in this energy. It just doesn't feel right to me anymore. And so you make adjustments in your life. And then so to hang around those energies, it almost feels like it's not as fun anymore. And then you go out and you try to not drink with those friends and you realize, well, wait a minute, they appear to be happy, but that feeling is like, well, they're not happy, right? So then you start that lone journey of aligning with energies, people, places, things, and ideas that are more in alignment to what you're feeling within yourself, what feels good to you. And so some of you may be in a transitional period. Like maybe you've left experiences that you've outgrown. Now, I'm not saying that experience, is good or bad, and I'm not saying to judge people because we're all in different places in our lives, but maybe you're outgrowing a paradigm, a pattern, a cycle, and then you start noticing, wow, I'm really around this energy, and when I choose to empower myself, I choose to make changes, I feel like I get shunned, or I feel like, I get resistance from it, right? It's all fun and games until you try to make better of yourself, and then you get resistance. It's just, part of life. And so I feel like she's coming in to encourage you to nurture your soul, nurture yourself, especially if you're feeling alone and lonely, right? That's fear energy, right? And when we can recognize fear energy, we can transform it and ask to the energy of love to be downloaded in our cellular memory, in our body, in our cells. I usually say I surround myself with internally with love, and 1 foot above me, below me, and 1 foot all around me. So I kind of embrace myself in this cocoon. And what better way for it to come from the divine maternal mother, whatever that means to you. So Catherine, the goddess, is coming in, gifting you with maternal energy. Now, I know some of you watching this, you may have challenges with your own mother. There could be criticism, there could be, challenges, there could be tug of war, adversities. Maybe you lost your mom at a young age and you didn't really have that gift of that maternal energy. And so you can always ask the Divine Mother to download you with the feeling of that maternal energy, that maternal love. Again, these piles that I'm picking, it's not so much about action. For me, it almost feels like this new moon in Cancer, the theme is about receiving different kinds of energy. So when I call on the Mother Mary, my vision is that I see her sitting on a throne, and I am a child, and I go up to the throne, and I crawl into her lap, and I put my head on her chest, and I let her put her arms around me, and I just sink into that maternal energy. Mother Mary is all about tears. Tears cleanse the soul, right? It melts the ice on the heart. So I love how Mary and Catherine, Goddess Catherine, are coming in here to support you, especially if you've been in giver mode, especially if you've been doing a lot of sharing and giving these last few months. You're worthy of the miracles that are meant for you, right? So when you can soften and open to the support of the Divine Mother, it lifts you up. After a child skins their knees, and let's say that maternal energy cleans them up and gives them a hug, and they radiate from joy and happiness and peace, right? So let that energy in. You could be the one that's the leader in your life, or you could be the one that's the support system for others, and maybe you just kind of got maxed out these last couple months, and so she's reminding you that you can go to the divine. I have this beautiful relationship with the Divine Mother that is a treasure. And remember, we don't necessarily live in a world that honors that energy in the way that we're doing it now, right? So this is really new for a lot of people, and receiving, especially with divine feminine energies, is a real challenge, but that is your natural way of being. That is who you are. So the masculine energies in the world, masculine dominant energies, they're what feels good to them is to give first. And when they give, they then receive. The feminine energies, we receive first. And when we receive, we're lit up and we give, right? So check in with yourself and ask the goddess, where are you blocking that flow? Where are you putting your hand on the back door? And angels and the divine are knocking on that back door saying, let us in, you're kind of in the space where you're allowing energy to go out and you're looking forward, but where can you allow that energy to come in behind you to fill you up to overflowing, right? I've always said that the universe always gives you a heads up. Usually there are no surprises if you're paying attention, right? So this could be a really good time for you to get aligned with the love of the maternal energy for healing. Okay, so let's get into a long description. Let's get into the rest of the reading here. So what message of healing does Catherine have for you? Ooh, the flow of partnership. It says the ebb and flow of relationship takes me where I need to be next on my path. So I'm feeling the partnership with the Divine Mother, the partnership and the relationship with the divine. I'm also feeling the flow of partnership in the relationship with yourself, and then the relationship with others, friends, and family. So check in to see where you're at in that, right? So if you need to, this moon, I said in the beginning that this moon is a time to, get back to something, get back to a routine, or get back in the flow of something. And so this could be a really good time for you to check in, saying, okay, how's my relationship with the divine? How's my partnership? Are we working together? Am I, putting the hand up saying, I don't need you? And again, there's no shame, there's no guilt in it. It's just check in saying, oh, that's right, I got it now. And then also to then check in with the relationship with yourself. Are you being kind to yourself? Are you being gentle? Are you speaking to yourself with loving words that are nourishing and nurturing? And then also to the ebb and flow of relationship with coworkers and children and significant other and friendships. Let me see. The ebb and flow of relationship takes me where I need to be next on my path. So for me, I'm feeling that energy of support, right? It's something I talked about big when I was talking about Catherine, is like the energy of support, and being able to work together. And that's, sometimes that, we've been taught that, a lot of the teachings, especially as divine feminines, we've been taught that we need to make it happen, we need to do it on our own, we can't count on anybody, which is false. It's like looking in a mirror. Like, yes, you're seeing that, but it's backwards. And so now it's like, it's a challenge to lean on people. But remember, in relationships, you're responsible for your half, right? They're responsible for their half. So when you can show up and do your work, right, and kind of be in space, and really support people in a non-judgmental way, and that's certainly a journey, and that's certainly spiritual work, and release expectations, or that things have to be a certain way, or they have to look a certain way, somebody has to be a certain way for you to be happy, right? How can you work on that partnership with yourself, feeling supported and loved from the inside out? And then what happens is you start aligning with people, places, things, and ideas that are in that stream, that is in that vein. Friends, I've been working on it for the last 1.5 years, and I'll tell you, things are just now starting to shift and align. This is why, I do a lot of these readings to hopefully cut you at the quick, to give you some support and some guidance, so, you don't have to take as long to learn these things as I've learned them, right? You can learn that you're not alone, and that, we're going through these experiences of growth that have never been experienced in the way we're experiencing them now. I know a lot of people are talking about this new earth and these new energies that are coming in. So we need patience. We're like paving a new way in society, in this world, right? And so we're getting back to that support, that, I want to use the word tribal, but getting back to that, like, community. That's a beautiful word. Having a community, being independent, knowing who you are and how you can contribute to your community, whatever that community is. All right, so what actions can you take this moon? Ooh, signs from above. Yeah, checking in from the divine. Again, this is more energy of support. Signs from above, Mother Mary. So Mother Mary sends roses. That's how I know she's around. Pink roses, yellow roses, red roses. The smell of rose connects me with Mother Mary. So this one says, your loved ones in spirit are waving hello and giving you reassurance that you'll be all right, right? That's the maternal nurturing energy. This also, and again, as this is a general reading, it's not for everybody, but this also, if you are missing your mother, right? Maybe it's an anniversary, or maybe, your mother transitioned and you're going through stuff where you're just really missing your mother. This is a sign that your mother, your biological mother, or your mother who or that figure, what's the guardian that was your mother, could also be coming through this reading. Maybe you've needed to hear from her. So this is a very special reading for those of you who are missing your mother, that maternal guardian energy in your life. It could have been a really great friend who is a beautiful maternal energy, loving, compassionate, supportive, right? So this could also be coming in. So look from the signs from above to support if you're not feeling that energy in your physical life right now. And that's how we heal, friends, right? So what are you being gifted with? Oh, of course the masculine comes in. We've got so much feminine energy. Hello, Mr. Masculine. All right, so this is card number 6, which the 6 is the number that's connected to creativity, home, family, and love, right? So the lunar god is coming in. The masculine energy is coming into balance. I almost feel like this energy is coming in because this energy can feel really floaty, really like spacey and dreamy and luminous, right? And I feel like the masculine energy came in to ground the energy. So when you're feeling support and feeling connected, it's really important for you to remember to ground your energy. So even the lower chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, those are masculine chakras that you can work with. Work with the feet chakras, right? The earth, but also to remember that the masculine energy is connected to the sun, and the sun's energy is what helps the growth on this planet, right? When you've spent some time outside and you've gotten some vitamin D, like your skin is activated, right? And vitamin D seeps into your body. You feel wonderful, you feel alive, you feel great. So we want to talk about balance here, right? And being able to connect with that masculine energy, which, like I said, is also grounding, being able to harness it so that you have a foundation, right? You want support, and so I'm feeling like the masculine energy is bringing up the importance of a foundation, like a strong foundation in people, places, things, and ideas. I love that the masculine came in. What else? Let's see here. It's a balance. Yep, I'm seeing the balance. I mentioned the yin-yang energy, the yin energy. So you want to kind of keep the essence of both. You don't want to get too lifted up. You want to also bring that energy down, like connecting with heaven and earth. Let me see. The sun and the moon, the yin and the yang. So let's see here. Is there anything else that I want to say about you? I'm also seeing this partnership back here, if you can see it, right? It's a dance, right? The sun and the moon, the yin and the yang, the mother and the father. So the father's saying, don't forget about me. I love that. So if you're seeing dualities, if you're seeing black and white, check in with yourself. Some of you might be so in the feminine energy that it's time for you to get back to work. It's time for you to start taking action towards your goals, right? What can you do with the support of the universe, right? Maybe you're being gifted with action steps, and so you can activate the masculine to help you get going, to take inspired action. I love that. All right, and so final messages of love for you. Demonstrate love. It says, find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. This is even towards yourself, right? Demonstrate love. For me, this is, it's like a way of being. How can you demonstrate love in the world? So I've been taking a lot of walks recently and on different various bike paths, and I've been around a lot of people, and it's been lovely because, I've been, quarantining for the last year and a half or so. And, I just noticed that I just want to generously gift my light and smile at people and laugh and be playful and have fun, right? That's how I demonstrate love. I talk to the birds, I talk to the trees, I talk to the animals. On my walks, I'm seeing lots of bunnies. And I'll go over and I'll talk to the bunnies, and they'll look at me and they'll hop away. So that's how I demonstrate love. I have this reverence, this respect for the four-leggeds, the two-leggeds, right? The mammals, the sky and the earth, right? So, how can you demonstrate love as you're filled up and you're feeling supported as you move through this new moon in Cancer, and you get treasured and gifted with this vibration? And how can you go out and demonstrate that and remind people of the glory, of the divine that flows through you? It's so beautiful. And then final message here, a message of love. Love is all around you, right? So when you're out there demonstrating love, also receive it, right? It says there is love everywhere, all the time. Simply acknowledging this as truth. Simply acknowledge this as truth. Right here we have the 7 number again, which is again the divine feminine. So those of you who chose pile 2, maybe it feels like you've gone through an intense healing period. Catherine is assisting you, and Mary is assisting you with, and did I talk about Faith? Getting the two confused. I think Faith. Faith is the angel of freedom. So gifting yourself with these energies, and then being able to go out and see, right? See the love that's all around you. Being able to give yourself I cancel, delete that. Gratitude, right? Saying, oh, I love this, more of this in my life, or something even better. So I almost feel like this is a period for you to shift your attitude, right? If you've kind of been in the dumps, or you've been gloomy and doomy, and and that's been how you've been healing and growing, I feel like, giving yourself an attitude adjustment this new moon in Cancer. And I mean that in a fun way. Like, how can we shift our attitude and have an attitude of gratitude and love? And again, when you shift your attention, when you demonstrate love, you start to shift your attention, then you start to see love everywhere. So you're aligning, right? You're aligning to new energies, which is powerful. And again, being able to, with the manifesting energy, saying more of this in my life, or something even better. I like to look out for moments in my life. And if I'm having experiences that can never be recreated again, which I know is divine inspiration, and things that just aligned perfectly, I'll just pause and I'll just take in that moment. And I have so many memories of just moments and how life has just unfolded for me in miraculous ways, and how, things and experiences and people that have come into my life have been such a treasure. And so I bank those moments. So when I do have like that slippery slope, or I'm going down that, that dark tunnel, I'm reminded that it's only temporary, and that there's always sunshine or a rainbow after the rain, right? So that's my gift to you, messages to you. I want to send armies of loving beings to you, to support you, to lift you up, to nourish you, to nurture you. You are healing, you're growing, you are a gift to the world, and God loves you so, so much. All right, so those of you who chose pile 2, thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you and supported you anyway, click that like button. And if your reading ends here, thank you so much for watching, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. And those of you who chose pile 3, welcome. So I am going to check the book here to harness the energies of this goddess. It's so interesting. I've been working with this deck for about 6 months now. Personally, I pull a card every morning and I've yet to get her. So this is going to be really fun working in her energy. So again, the message is, I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. It's so interesting how all 3 of these readings have been similar but different. She represents the power we all have to emerge from the darkness transformed. It's like you're coming out of the darkness into the light, right? And when I say darkness, it's your healing. It's the shadow work. It's the breaking cycles, the awarenesses, right? When you desire something so much, it gives you the will to want to make the changes to align to it. It's so powerful. It's such a dance. And it's not a fun dance when you're in it, but when you come out of it, there's such reward, there's such treasure. And I just want to pause here and really commend you for showing up to the work, the spiritual journey that you're on, to show up to making the changes, to educating yourself, to connecting, to aligning, to doing the work, because we're in a vibration now on this planet that's never existed before in the way that it has. So many of you are paving the way. And again, we're going to get it right, and we're going to have to learn, and we're going to have hiccups and bumps, and that's what's going to happen, right? So it's how we learn. So let's see. Let's see here. The Black Madonna is loved for having been through the fires of loss and for emerging with a greater capacity to love. Every afternoon for hundreds of years, the monks of the abbey have come out from meditation to sing Salve Regina to Our Lady of the Hermits. Wow, so I'm feeling like, if you've been in hermit mode, if you are now in a space where you're now wanting to reintegrate on this planet, it would be a really great time for you to use this new moon in Cancer to alchemize, to create, to design your art, your life for family, right? Family doesn't always have to be biological family, but family is your soul tribe, your soul community, your network. So I feel like those of you who chose pile 3, you've really come through an independent period, right? Becoming strong in your masculine, feminine. You've reflected on the past and all that you've learned. And maybe you now have the gift of wisdom. Maybe you have the gift of knowledge that you want to share in some ways. Or maybe you just don't want to do that and just want to go out and be human in the world and laugh and play and sing and dance. That would be great. So transforming the pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. Let's see here. She is the emblem of deep wisdom, the profound consciousness that is inherent in all things. All living and created things are energy. The body has wisdom, the earth has wisdom, and the pain we experience as humans contains deep wisdom. Let's see here. It can be hard to trust when we are in terrific pain that there is a process at work that will make us more authentic, more alive, and infinitely freer. It can be almost impossible to accept or notice the presence of the divine when we are at our most human. So the Black Madonna is the cauldron that holds us steadfastly as we endure the alchemy of integrating more soul into our existence. She's the promise that what doesn't survive the fires of suffering was never meant for us. So maybe things are like sliding out of your life, things are changing, and she she's the presence that is there for us, even when we might feel the most alone, reminding us that there is no darkness we can enter without being met by love. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling just so much maternal energy in these readings, which is not, an energy that we really tap into too much, right? We tap into progress and, getting things done and goals and action, which is great. But I'm feeling a call this new moon in Cancer to get back to balance, right? Especially those divine feminines, which is family and home and nurturing, right? Taking care of ourselves. Healing relationships from the past. So maybe you've gotten away from, just because you've been in your own space or your own journey, maybe you've gotten away from some people who really lifted you up, and maybe some people need to go, and you need to maybe make some changes and try new experiences, maybe classes or maybe groups or things that are now forming out of this darkness that we've been going through on this planet. And maybe now it's time for you to kind of put yourself out there and try new things. You always want to check in with yourself. I feel like it's time to come out. Hermit. So I can be a super hermit. I mean, I'm a quadruple Cancer. So home is my just haven, my safe space. So I can totally resonate with this energy. Okay, so what message of healing does she have for you? Being with discomfort. This is a challenge read, right? So maybe you're coming out of this space and you're being asked to, this new moon in Cancer, reflect on how you've grown, how you've become stronger through these experiences. It says, at times of discomfort, I courageously seek my soul essence, which is clear, pure, and luminous. So I'm seeing this beautiful orangey energy here, which is the energy of the sacral chakra. And it's the energy of passion. It's the energy of love. It's the energy of sexuality. But it also can be addictions and limitations that can rob us of our joy, right? The sacral energy is joy. And so maybe you're being asked to reflect upon, learn from, again, that full moon in Capricorn that we just came out of. And now you get to play with this new maternal, nurturing energy. I love the mother energy keeps coming up, of course. Cancer is a maternal sign. It's the mother. It's the moon energy. It's all about emotions. So how can you transform what you've gone through and empower yourself, right? How can you feel these? Almost feeling like a wall or a veil has come up, and now you're getting aha moments and hits, and I see it now, and it's almost like the sunshine is coming up and it's like shining a light on. So you may have a lot of epiphanies and awarenesses these next couple weeks, right? And maybe you're like, yes, more of that in my life, or something even better. So one of the energies I put out is when I'm ready to come out of hermit mode and go out into the world, I ask the divine to send me invitations, right? All right, I'm ready to go out. I'm ready to have some fun. The divine, please send me some invitations. And so what will happen is people will start calling me, and I'll have experiences and be invited places. Now, that doesn't mean I say yes to everything, that I can practice discernment, and I can go in and check, like, okay, these invitations are coming. What would be best aligned to how I'm feeling right now? I've been having a lot of different experiences lately, and it's been a lot of fun, right? So because I was with this discomfort, because I had gone in, I'm now aligning my energy in different ways, because I've used what I've learned and what I've seen and reflected upon to shift, right? So sometimes that being with discomfort is like, I don't want to say no, but it doesn't feel right to me. Let me check in. Okay, let me trust my gut. My gut is saying, I'm feeling resistance toward this. So, there was an invitation that I had recently that I had declined, and it rained that day, and it would have been a miserable experience for me. So, I was uncomfortable being, saying no. And then, a come to find out when the day came, it wouldn't have been a good day. So, being able to have this dance and being able to check in with the discomfort and to make the decisions, practicing discernment with how you are going back out into the world, and being able to share your love, right? Your light. Let's see here. What action steps can you take this new moon in Cancer? Oh, you're a spiritual teacher. Share, right? Oh, it says share. Share your wisdom with others. You were born to teach, right? So, I know personally on the spiritual journey, I go through stuff. Friends. Really dark stuff, really troubling stuff. But I also know I chose this journey, and I am who I am, and I have the wisdom I have, and I've had the experiences I've had because of that. And so it's a blessing, it's a gift in my life. And it's through those experiences that I can connect with other people who are struggling, who are in a dark place, who are lost in the maze, right? In the shadow. And my joy is being able to shine a light and saying, yes, this is supposed to be more of this. Keep going. You're growing, right? So I feel like you're now getting into the space where you've learned from this and from this point on. So we're officially in the second half of the year, and so maybe this will be your action, is to share what you know, share what you've learned, share your wisdom. It could be in so many different ways. You could be at a cookout and meet somebody for the first time, and you just share wisdom, and maybe you're that maternal energy that just listens to them and says, you know what, I love you, you can do this, I believe in you, keep going, right? That's how you're a teacher, not always necessarily in work mode and business mode, right? So ask the divine to align you with people, places, things, and ideas that you can nourish, right? Or like that you can share. Things that you can learn, and then being able to gift to others. It doesn't always have to be in work mode. There's always an opportunity to gift the world with love, even if that is you gifting yourself with love, so that you're feeling the flow of love in your life, right? So feeling the flow of love and freedom. Those are the words. Those are the core. Those are the base. Your masculine energy needs freedom to feel free, and your feminine energy needs to feel the flow of love inside out. If you are looking to other people for freedom or experiences, or if you're diving into or escaping into something because it's giving you a false sense of freedom, right? You're actually entrapping yourself, right? So if you are looking to your children or people outside of you to feel the flow of love, that energy cannot sustain, friends. So we're really learning how to work with that energy within. And I can feel it. I can feel as soon as I start to feel that lack of love, or I start to feel alone, or I start to feel my obsessions and my triggers. I'm like, oh, here I am again. And so I can go into, and again, I say this so often, that Rumi quote, I open my arms to love, and love embraced me like a lover. That brings me right back into love. It brings me right back into freedom, remembering all that I need is right here, right now, in the present moment, that I'm whole and complete and provided for. And I am absolutely free, 1000% right here in this moment. I am absolutely love and feel love right here, right now, in the present moment. And that just boosts my vibe. So, this is, again, how we work through these energies, how we don't necessarily ignore it or put it off or shame ourselves. We can now learn to empower ourselves with it. And then you teach it, then you share it. That's so many Earth Angels' journeys on this planet. So what are you being gifted with? Fruition, of course, abundance, right? So we have the 10 here. 3 + 7 = 10. 10 = 1. New beginnings, right? So you're being gifted this new moon in Cancer, the abundance, wisdom, knowledge, health, freedom, right? All these experiences. So when you feel it in your body, being able to say more of this or something even better, more of this or something even better. I told a story at some point. I got caught in the rain. I was out and I got caught in the rain, and the person that I was with, we were just having a really great time being caught in the rain, and we're drenched, and my makeup was dripping down my face, and I could feel the rain on my skin. It was like that summer rain, and it felt so refreshing, and we both felt so alive, and it was just so rejuvenating. And I just paused for a second, and I just said, I just want to take in this moment, right? And I remember saying, like, more of this or something even better. I feel alive, right? And I felt abundant in that moment. I felt abundant in experience. I felt abundant in energy and laughter and play. And so, when you're in this space of new experiences, when you're feeling abundant, when you're feeling alive, check in it, ground it, and again, especially with this powerful new moon in Cancer, really grounding it and saying more of this in my life or something even better. It requires you to be present. It requires you to come out of your comfort zone and try new things and say yes, but you also want to practice discernment with that too, because you don't want to say yes to everything, right? So checking in. So I feel like you're being gifted with feeling alive and experience, and really that's up to you to receive it. Let the universe come in. These days are over. You've learned this stuff will come up, but you've learned how to be with the discomfort. You've learned how to transform it, right? We have the number 4 here. 4 is about getting back to work. It's about like structures. It's kind of like the worker bee energy. So you have the skills, you know what to do when you get into this place, right? And so you'll now learn to teach that, but also too, because of it, you're going to be able to harness the fruits of your labor, right? You're going to be able to harness and really relax a little bit, be able to have some fun, and to kind of make some room for experience, right? So life can be easier. Yes, more of that or something even better. All right, so final message of love. Focus on love. Gosh, we have so much orange energy here, right? Joy, passion, play. So the message here says, look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. This was a common theme through all of the readings, was focus on love, look for love, be with love, embody love, right? So loving all your challenges, loving all aspects of who you are. This is card number 6 here. 6 is connected to Venus. It is the energy of creativity, which is also connected to the sacral chakra. It is the energy of home and family and connection and community. So focus on love with being with people who support you and feeling alive and connected, right? Call up those people that you may haven't heard from in a while. Maybe people have been doing their own things. Maybe you can, have a phone date or a video chat or go out for coffee or a dinner and just reconnect with those that you love and treasure. Maybe you have a date with yourself. Maybe you have a date with the universe. Sometimes I like to go on a road trip, and I'll just pick somewhere and I'll just get on the road and I'll just have a date with the divine. And usually it's like I meet someone or I learn something new or I have a different experience. I mean, here in the Northern Hemisphere, the weather is nicer. We're in summer now. So, how can you experience life in a new way? Focusing your energy on love. How can you gift love to the world? Remember, if you're a feminine, dominant energy, you receive first. And from that place of receptivity, you gift from the overflow, right? So you fill your own tank up and give from the overflow. Love is infinite. We're always surrounded in love. Nobody can take our love, right? The only thing that takes our love is fear, right? So when you can know that, you're abundant and your energy is always vibrating. Stay in that space and you'll have plenty to gift because you'll be receiving from the universe. You'll be receiving love, right? To be able to gift. If you're masculine dominant, like I said, start giving. Give, be generous. And from the giving, you will receive. It's so empowering and uplifting. Really start alchemizing those energies. All right. I think I said all I was going to say. So if you want to, those who chose pile 3, hang around. I am going to close space for this reading. So thank you so much for watching. This is really great. It was really good to connect with her energy. Fierce. All right, so let me see here. All right, so let me close space, thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that assisted with this reading for you today. I want to thank the goddesses and the divine feminine energies that showed up for their support, their maternal, nurturing, loving energy. So powerful, so beautiful. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. And so it is. And those are your messages, friends. Thank you so much for watching. If I can support you in any way, connect with me. All that information is in the notes below this video. I appreciate you. If nobody's told you recently, I love you. God loves you so much. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this energy. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.